Media is the mirror of the society, but the question is that mirror equal to all? Join me at Career Campus KE as we talk with Dr. Jacqueline Lidubwi, who is a media personality, as we break down the stereotypes regarding disability reporting. Buckle up. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We'd like to know, how would you describe the current state of disability representation in the media?
So when we talk about disability reporting in the media, so for both mainstream media, which is legacy media, and social media, we don't really have the correct representation as we might want. Because when we talk about disability representation in the media, it is how the society views disability. So if we still view disability as something which is bad, something that needs to be fixed, or people who are not worth, that is what we are still seeing that in social media and mainstream media. And especially we say the people who are working in the media house, they live in the society, they don't live in the mass. So if they're living in this society, that the society that is flawed, the society that is ignorant about disability matters, we don't expect so much difference of representation in media.
Okay. And as an active media person on people with disability, a person who has worked with people dealing with rights advocacy, have you come across any examples where people with disability were portrayed unfairly or inaccurately?
Yes, I've really seen that on social media, and I've been active about that. So especially currently we have the government spokesperson who is a person with albinism. So most of the time when the government spokesperson will be talking about maybe giving the government briefs, will say we have this deficit of 50 million, the president is really working very hard for us to get this money to be able to develop our country. People will start saying we are the problem. And we know the solution. We are going to take you to Tanzania, and we are going to sell you to Tanzania for so that 50 billion, and we are going to get our money. And when he's addressing people and it is during the rainy season, they say, now you can be happy because rain is not affecting you. So I've seen a lot of people trolling Honorable Maura on social media every time he tries to talk about something or anything, because they believe, first of all, he's a person with albinism. What is he telling us? We can just we can sell him. He's not better than us. Why is he there? They don't take him like seriously, which is so pathetic. And that is really happening on social media. Just see the government briefing is going on live, and people are just talking. And people are just talking. There's negative comments, which is something bad. And it just shows the stereotypes on how people view people with disabilities. Yeah.
And what programs or initiatives have you been part of, or have you been seen implemented, which are going to help cut off these stereotypes?
First of all, I started the first program for person with disability in Kenya, Able Differently, which has been there for so many years, and it has at least tried to change the perspective of people with disability in the media. And also, I was part of the people who are trying to campaign, and we had several meetings with stakeholders trying to make sure that sign language is part of mainstream media, TV news, and breaking news. So it didn't just happen. It was a lobbying, and so many years of us coming together, advocates, saying that when we are having news or breaking news, we need to have people with disabilities to be part of it. When we are talking about accessibility, it's not just about buildings, it is even our media content. Is it accessible? And that's how we really pushed for it, and the law was passed that sign language interpreters, they need to be there in all media houses during news and breaking news, so that people with disability will be able to know what is happening, especially the deaf community. And if you don't have sign language interpreter, you are going to be closed down. So it was really a push, which has brought in some accessibility. It's not what ideal thing that the deaf people would want, but it raises awareness. At least there are people who are deaf, and this is the language they communicate in, and they need to be respected, and they need to be included. So we've led to accessibility in media. I've also been part of people who train journalists on how to report disability, both editors, both journalists in mainstream media, and just around. And I've done that in Kenya and in so many other parts of Africa. I've also come up with a manual to train journalists across Africa on disability reporting, and that manual is also online. It is accessible. And now, finally, what I'm proud of, we managed to convince Muranga University to include disability reporting in their curriculum. And now we have a first cohort of around 35 students who are going out there who have an idea what disability reporting is. Yeah.
And as we wind up, could you tell us how should the society handle narratives of success about individuals with disability to avoid portraying them as superhuman? Because we have cases where maybe a disabled person has gone to school and then has won an award, and then it's now like they're superhuman.
So that's why we say positive portrayal, as in reporting disability in a whole. So you start by giving us the background of the person or what they are up to, what they have achieved, not just starting with disabled person wins, or maybe disabled tops or disabled what you start by a person, by what they do. What disability is not supposed to be highlighted. Disability, if you are talking about someone who has won an award, you don't need to say, and you are doing a video like now, you don't need to say, look at the person who has disability, then you cannot use the both legs. We can see. So you can use our eyes to see. So you don't really need to reinforce such stereotypes. You just need to tell us about the award, how they worked hard to get it, how was the competition. We see them receiving the award, and we can make our own judgment. But when it is all about, they were in problems, it is disability, disability cannot be able to achieve that, you see now that is just reinforcing stereotypes. When we see a person with disability getting married to another person with disability, and then it is breaking news, that is reinforcing stereotypes. People with disability have feelings. People with disability fall in love and fall out of love. So a natural process like getting married and having children is not supposed to be something that is out of this world. A person with disability has gotten married. When we do that, we are enforcing those people as superhumans. And we know even we have people without disability who don't even get lucky to get married, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is wholesome reporting or looking at it wholesomely, but not focusing on the disability.
Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for the questions answered.